Hello, welcome to another video. My name is Teresa and I've just completed a 12-month solo travel experience, I'm going to call it, traveling from the UK all the way across to the Indian subcontinent, Southeast Asia and into Australia. I'm currently talking to you from India, where I am based for a number of months, so still not quite got home to the UK properly. And today I wanted to talk about how to handle your emotions on leaving. So there's plenty of content out on YouTube and some amazing content around practical tips and things. And many people have had really great travel experiences and have been much more intrepid than myself. But I'm sharing the things that I think I wish I'd kind of thought about before I set off. And one of those is actually the emotional response and the reaction to going. So I went for 12 months. I wasn't planning to come back. I didn't go back within that 12-month period. And I certainly had periods of loneliness. And there were times where I did think about going home briefly, but cost and logistics sort of made that not possible for me. And I think if you are planning a bigger trip, I think it's helpful to be a bit prepared for how you're going to feel emotionally. And this is something that perhaps that we don't talk about that much. I'm a yoga and meditation teacher. So for me, I practice every day to be in tune with my emotional well-being. I use practices to help keep my emotional being well as best as I can. I'm a human being after all. So yeah, I mean, I found saying goodbye really difficult. And in fact, this last time when I've come out again, I'm been in India now since September. Was really emotional. I spent a really beautiful 2 months in the UK, staying with friends, and got very close to my nephew. It was really, really hard to say goodbye to him. Really hard to say goodbye to my girlfriends and family. And I think particularly at my age, I'm 51 now, and I think for me and my girlfriends, there's that sense that a lot can happen in a year and things can change. Parents are aging, all sorts of things can happen. It felt very different from when I went off to university, and the joy of traveling in your 20s where you're carefree and everything's great. I think it felt a little bit more of a big thing in some respects to go at the age of 50, which is what I was when I set off last year. So today I wanted to share some practices that I have used to help manage those emotions. And also, I think, first of all, the importance of acknowledging that there will be potentially emotional response to you going. Others might be quite upset with you going. I mean, I was very lucky. Everyone was really supportive of me going and of my journey. My parents are not still alive, so I don't know what they would have made of the whole thing. But everybody else was really supportive and helpful for me. But you may not have that experience. You may have children, parents, friends, other people that are saying to you, "Why are you doing this?" And I think it's important to know in your heart what is your reason for going. What is your why? I think start with why, right? That we talk about in sales. You start with why. You start with the question, what is the reason to go? And I think the once you've answered that question, and I think you can put aside the tearful goodbyes and move forward, and know that you're in the right place and doing the right thing. That's part of your, we call it in yoga philosophy, your dharma. You're following your purpose. It's your purpose. It's nobody else's purpose. It's your path, nobody else's path. So there's three things that I think are really helpful for managing emotions. Um, Grounding yourself is really important, whether that's going for a walk in nature, whether that's walking barefoot. Some people actually find going into water really helpful. I do as well, actually, going into water, um, just being present with the earth as it is. Secondly, I think um, just being aware of the emotions and maybe using journaling prompts. I journal quite a bit if I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed or not quite sure of my path or what I'm doing. So yeah, maybe consider doing some journaling. And then thinking about how you're going to keep in touch with people. So for me, I did work really hard, probably at to keep in touch with people, and left lots of voice messages for people, lots of WhatsApp messages, lots of video calls as well. And the key people in my life I was in touch with quite a lot, even unless I was somewhere really remote and that was impossible. I mean, things like WhatsApp make life so much easier. I mean, I think when I was traveling when I was 20, there was none of this. There was no way to speak to people back home really. So we are really lucky we have the communications to do that. So it's not so lonely as you might think, because you can always reach out, and even if there's a time difference, usually there'll be a family member that's happy to have a chat with you and hear your latest news and live vicariously through your experiences. And then the third thing is, or fourth thing is breath work. I'm going to share 3 short practices today that are all really grounding and really helpful for allowing you to just come back to the body, come back to being present. And they're simple practices that I'm going to share with you. The first one is a pranayama practice called Viloma. If you do have any breathing, chest issues, COPD, or anything like that, then maybe consult with the doctor before doing any of this. And just be mindful, if it feels constricting or is causing you more anxiety, then please just stop. So I'll invite you now to come into a comfortable seat, find your position. It's helpful to sit upright. I'm in a chair here. Maybe you can find a chair to sit on, sit up nice and tall. You might want to close the eyes and for a moment just take a few breaths in and out through the nose. Just allow the feet to ground into the earth. Allow yourself to be back in this present moment. And this first practice, I like to call it a step breath. It's called Viloma Pranayama, where we take, and we'll do 4 inhales and 4 exhales. It's like we're walking up a step. So I'll demonstrate for you. So we take a little bit of an inhale through the nose. We take a little bit more of an inhale. We take the third inhale. We take the fourth inhale. And then we're going to exhale out in one go. So it's a 4-step up and a slide down the stairs. I see it like climbing the stairs and then sliding down the stairs. So we'll do that together, and then we'll reverse it and we'll do the exhale into 4 and a big inhale, just one breath. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm a bit distracted. Sorry, there's construction work going on all around me. So I'm hoping you can't hear that too much. And fingers crossed, they're not about to stop drilling. Anyhow, let's go. Let's give it a go and see what happens. So closing the eyes. So start by taking a little bit of breath on the inhale, a little bit more breath, a little bit more, a little bit more, and then a big exhale. And you could, for now, just exhale out through the mouth. Let's go again, inhaling through the nose. Inhaling again. So we don't exhale in between these inhales. Inhaling again. Inhaling again. And then an exhale. Long, smooth exhale, like you're sliding down a slide. Inhaling. 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 And allow yourself to slide down that slide on the exhale. One more time. Inhaling. Inhaling. And keep these breaths even as you inhale. And you inhale. And then you exhale down. And then we'll go on the exhale. So this time we take a big inhale all together. We exhale. We hold. We exhale. We hold. Don't breathe in between. Exhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Big inhale. Exhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Big in breath. Carry on with your breath. You might want to slow it down a little bit, speed it up a little bit if you need to, but feel like you're going down the steps now on that exhale. If you can, imagine each of those breaths to be 25%. So think about it mathematically. So 25% of your breath, then 25% of your breath, 25%, 25%, and then a big 100% inhale. And for the last round of this short practice is we will do the steps up and the steps down. So let's do that together. So we're taking inhale, 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 exhale, 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 exhale. Inhale, 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 exhale, 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 exhale. Two more with your own breath. Or if that feels a little bit too intense, just come back to normal breathing. Otherwise, carrying on with step breath. And then just, if you can, keeping the eyes closed, just take a moment to acknowledge the experience, how you're feeling now. Having a sense that you could take this practice and use it whenever you needed to sort of have a reset. The second breath practice is really simple and really powerful. It's called Bhramari, hummingbee breath. This is a breath practice that helps us to return back to our parasympathetic nervous system, so away from fight and flight, the sympathetic nervous system. So I'm not going to go into too much detail. This is all too much detail for the YouTube short video, but you can check it out if you want more information, or message me if you want longer practices, because that's something I do. I'm just showing you and introducing you today to some things that you might want to look into in a little bit more detail. So Bhramari breath is like a bee sound, a humming bee sound. It's really just a kind of a hum that we make. It's kind of taking us back to that, almost like when you're a child. I mean, I did this, and I sometimes do it, and I find myself humming around the house. Maybe you do too, maybe you don't. Very simple breath. We take an inhale, and then we make this humming sound. We'll do our breath best to keep the breath as smooth as you can. So try not to be too jolty at the end. So if you need a shorter breath, take a shorter breath. We'll do just 5 rounds just to give you a sense of how this feels together. If you're comfortable to close the eyes, you can. I'm not going to do this with the mudra. Sometimes you might see people closing the eyes and the ears. We're not going to do that today. Just very simple Bhramari hummingbee breath with no mudra. So take an inhale and exhale with that hummingbee sound. Inhale. Mm. Again, just sitting for a moment, just acknowledging what you notice, how it feels. Simple, but very powerful, very calming for most people. So yeah, check that out. Plenty of resources on YouTube, or so message me, put a comment below, and I can send you some examples of some good teachers that are teaching a longer practice of that. Last practice, because I want to keep this quite a short video, is chanting the mantra Om. So we're just going to chant 5 rounds of this. You could, and I've been to classes where you chant this for an hour. I'm not suggesting you do that, but actually sometimes just a short practice just brings you back to the present moment. Om is the first sound of the universe. It's the vibration of the universe. And when I was a bit lost and a bit without a home and feeling all over the place, I listened to Diva Premal and Mitan. This was during COVID lockdown, and they talked about Om being the home is where Om is. And I come back to that. If there's any moments where I feel a little bit lost, a bit unsure, not clear, feel a bit homeless, I come back to Om. So we'll share 5 rounds of Om. And if you like the practice, it's something you can so easily do by yourself, just sitting quietly, calmly. So keep sitting up tall if you can. Try to notice if you slouched a bit. And we'll take an inhale and we'll begin 5 rounds of Om. And again, just take a moment of gratitude that you've taken the time to do these little short practices. Maybe you found something that really resonated with you, in which case, please do explore, dive deeper into these practices. The 3 breathwork practices really pretty much are working on the same fundamental principle that if we can extend the exhale, it brings calmness to the nervous system, calmness to the body, calmness to the mind. So just bear that in mind. I wish you well with your travels, wish you well with your goodbyes. Feel all the feelings. It's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to actually be cross as well. It's okay to feel anything. Feel the feels. It's okay. Maybe journal, maybe do the breath work, and know that you're following your heart. And if you follow your heart, it will all be okay. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do like, share, subscribe, all the things. And I will be joining, I'll be back again in a couple of weeks with another practice for you to try out. Maybe a little bit of yoga next time, actually. And yeah, do drop me a comment below if you've got any comments or if there's things that you'd like me to share in future episodes. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye. You know what to do if you like this video. Please like, share, and subscribe.